that good at doing it anymore either.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting approach. We'll see, let's head into game number 2 between BIGETRON Alpha and AI Esports. I do want to see what the idea is behind this mashup pick. In the XP lane, nonetheless, lethal ignition.
It's a lethal ignition mash. Okay, wait. They might just be trying to one-shot Fanny or Farsa or Iritel, right? Like, I mentioned how, you can thunderclap Fanny, but she can still fly away. She can't do that if she's dead. Maybe that's the play.
If it just straight up dies in the first hit, then it doesn't matter, right?
Well, it could be fun if that's the case. It is a Master Assassin as well. It's very possible that is what BIGETRON is trying to do here. In terms of other emblems, Weapon Master on Oh My Jenny, they do intend to scale up with that one. Master Assassin Airtail, here comes PS.
Yeah, Pamela almost got the Jeet Kune Do off. See if we can get this camp though. It's all about that level 4. Of course, Theozy is slightly closer to it and need help from Matzi. PS will just back off. Again, we kind of reverted the numbers of the Fanny energy, so gotta get used to how she was back then with the conservation of a resource. But I do wonder, like, how it's gonna take a while for Luke to reach that atomic point, right, where he's just like one-tapping everyone. So before that, I feel like AI Esports has a good chance of just accelerating the game, or at least kind of getting control of the game before Luke gets out of control.
Yeah, that's the worry, because I already pointed out AI has the much more early to mid-game scaling composition. So Luke probably needs like at least 3 items before the Masha can really one-shot even the squishier members. So BIGETRON has to try and delay this somewhat using Pamela to like keep vision over where AI is. Also, PS is on Impure Rage on the Fanny, right? This is not like the Lethal Ignition that we've seen from time to time, or the Festival of Blood that you sometimes see Fanny players go for. It is intending to go in and out of the battle, just like whittling down BIGETRON.
This stolen AOG for Moreno. It's good to set them up for this turtle fight for sure. Pamela also has the kick ready whenever. It's gonna be tense. I mean, this turtle fight could drag on for quite a while, but we're looking at the key resources, right? There's still the Revitalize for Black. Of course, you have to always be worried about this. Hilda, Luke essentially is gonna blow up pretty fast if he just runs straight at AI, and they're gonna go for it, right? Take care of his health bar as fast as possible. Luke down to his last health bar. AOG being used by Moreno. Still is the gut taunt that takes the turtle away. Black steals it and now uses his own AOG. Misses Luke. But I think AI Esports got what they came here for. Pamela though, not done just yet. Jeet Kune Do, flicker kick onto the Farsa. A follow-up good enough for first blood to be claimed by Moreno. BIGETRON Alpha makes the retreat. Theozy misses the Blaster stun, but it's more than enough.
Luke having the 3 HP bars does certainly keep him alive a lot longer, but the same can't be said for Theozy as PS flies back in and picks up the kill on the Suyo. PS actually slightly mistimed the retribution timing. He flew in through the turtle pit to try and ready the turtle, but luckily for him, Black still had the Blast Iron Fist set up there, so it ended up getting the last hit and securing the objective for them. And after he flew through into the opposite jungle, he immediately went for their purple buff instead. So he actually stole that away from Theozy to keep himself ahead in EXP.
Oh yeah. Luke jumping onto Matzi, finds Terrify. 4 members of BIGETRON Alpha on the case. Luke finds the kill. Bit of a go injection to accelerate that damage item.
If they can accelerate down the Masha, accelerate the Suyo, then they can actually match early game pretty well. Eman in trouble.
Almost get blasted down by the Feather Airstrike. Eman gets out. But Luke now is gonna start shaving off some of the gold plating. Good Jeet Kune Do kick. That's a dead Oh My Jenny.
And looks like now they're trying to gank on Luke. PS doing a lot of damage. And that is going to be 1 dead Masha. Luke did complete Blade of Heptasis before this, so we know he's going to damage. Black
has to revitalize and the passive to heal back up. PS picks something up though, misses the cable, so it's gotta fall back.
We haven't really gotten the chance to see PS or basically anyone else play on the Fanny thus far, so we don't actually know what his skill level is on it. The missed cable is not ideal. And BIGETRON right now does seem to be playing around the fact that PS may not be quite as active on this hero compared to other players.
The airstrike gets used, and wow, you say that PS just assassinated Emma on bot side. Masi heads onto TOZ. It's the AOG, big knockup. Luke will drop it, counter AOG used by Moreno as Black needs to run away. The conceal gets used as well. BIGETRON Alpha tries to continue the chase, won't be able to find it. Moreno though will flicker for it nonetheless, and now Luke finds the thunderclap and just gives PS the 1-2 combo. So PS falls and BIGETRON Alpha finds the turtle.
Luke isn't strong enough to one-shot the squishies, but is enough to do enough damage. And that's mini stun from... Oh, Moreno gonna get shut down by Madzi from the mid lane. But the mini stun from Thunderclap actually is a very good way of stopping PS's momentum as well. And since he was stuck inside the turtle pit, flew straight into it, had no way back out. BIGETRON Alpha putting up a much better fight!
And they will take down Oh My Jenny as Pamela will just... By a bit of time, PS should pick up that kill. Way more bloody game compared to game 1. At least this early on. Game 1 we kind of had to wait until the later stages of the game to get these kills. But right now, both teams are just brawling it out.
Oh My Jenny has been the biggest victim out of all of this, has been kicked by the Way of the Dragon multiple times at this point. In fact, I think may have to consider buying those roam boots as well, since his overall net worth is actually behind Black at this stage, 0-3-0 on the Farsa, meaning that AI is lacking on a very important piece of burst.
Really not having the best of time, and like BIGETRON Alpha finding, just understanding the priority for sure. It's just a 1.3k goal advantage this game, so much closer than the one we had in game 1. But then again, game 1 we had to wait until like what, post 10 minutes before the Lord fight. I do wonder what is the item progression for Luke. I mean, at this point you could go for a Sky Piercer and I would be fine with it. But he is still pretty squishy though. They want to take him down. AOG gets used. Luke trying to get away. That's the last health bar. They're absolutely destroyed.
That's going to be a nice pickup for AI Esports. They don't have to worry about the Zunasha for a while. And the turtle is coming up in 5 seconds as well. So it could be a good chance for them to try and blitz it. But BIGETRON not giving them that chance, forcing them to respond to the mid lane instead.
And Pamela just very slippery. But then AI Esports will get some space topside though. Alita still deathless so far. Second turtle being engaged on by AI Esports. BIGETRON Alpha wants to find a way in. Pamela fishing for something but just cannot find an opening. So AI Esports gets the turtle. Moreno needs to flicker out of there. And unfortunately, will not be able to utilize the stolen AOG.
Good zone control from AI there. They're specifically positioning Black and Madzi so that BIGETRON can't really walk ahead. I know that Pamela was trying to see if he could get the knock-up onto Fanny and maybe stop PS from getting the retry timing in, but just couldn't get close enough. So a free turtle goes over to AI. And we are definitely seeing Alita start doing a good amount of damage as well. And Gold actually ahead of Emma by about 300. Though BIGETRON is the ones that's holding the gold advantage in total. 1k gold lead.
That's a lot of damage onto Madzi. He's gonna just evaporate. Luke's gonna jump in, still has Thunderclap though. One last Thunderclap available. Luke will be chased down, but they can't get it. PS also can't find any assassination. So Oh My Jenny and Madzi becomes the only casualty from AI Esports. Pamela finds the knockup. No kick right there. BIGETRON Alpha settled for 2.
Alita actually made a slight mistake in terms of attacker range right there. Luke was 1 hit away from death. But Alita was just slightly too far away to get the auto attack out, and that actually allowed the Masha to walk away for free. Otherwise, it would have been an even trade. And we can see that AI Esports starting to make some mistakes here and there. PS is still a notable threat, right? 5-1 on the Fanny is nothing to scoff at, but the rest of BIGETRON is scaling very, very well. And Eman actually not going for the Sky Piercer build on the Granger, right? Hunter Strike into Malefic and Sea Halberd.
Even, yeah, I think it's gonna go for BOD next. So just raw damage. If you can take down one target and go for 1-for-1, that's great. But if you can get more than that, it's a bonus. I think that's kind of the approach that Luke is going for. And I'm digging it, especially when the Lord fight is coming up, right? the later the game goes, any one shot is going to be detrimental.
Alita does have the Malefic gun now though, so that should help just a little bit to do that extra damage. If he had the Malefic gun earlier, that extra range would have actually landed the last hit on Luke. But hey, no point crying over spilled milk. A 2k lead right now for BIGETRON. 10 minutes in, so it's not too bad, but also not ideal, as AI should have the slightly stronger early game composition. Pamela looking for a potential setup here.
And Black is dangerously low, so cannot stay in that bush anymore, which means priority gets given over to BIGETRON Alpha. We're gonna start working on the lore right now. AI Esports needs to try and find a way in. Black forced to pop the revitalize. AOG into Feather Airstrike. Lu looking for the one shot. PS just straight up disappears. They lose their jungler. Lord stolen though by Alita. And the Irithel pays off. Counter AOG. Luke goes back in. Doesn't have the health, and that's a Malefic gun going to work. Alita about to gun them all down. No crit as Moreno survives, but AI Esports finds signs of life.
Moreno was lucky that Alita didn't have the enhanced auto attack there, or that would have been a kill. Pamela actually got a really nice kick, Wave the Dragon specifically onto PS, but because they've been focusing on this Fanny the entire game, Alita has generally been ignored, and this Irithel is genuinely doing a lot of damage. The net worth difference has now evened up slightly, only 1.4k. Alita is jumping in.
Man, that Malefic gun range. You gotta be really careful if you are BIGETRON Alpha at this point of time. The fact that they lost the Lord. So AI Esports sort of back in the driver's seat to a certain extent. It's no more goal advantage for BIGETRON Alpha, that's for sure.
Only 1k, not very much at this stage of the game. Drake Dragon Spear completed by Alita, so even stronger now. Black in some trouble here.
Able to dash away just in time. The store advantage not amounting to too much. Not getting the mid tier 1, that's definitely a bit unfortunate if you're AI Esports, but at least you wrestle back control of the game. I guess that's really what matters the most if you are in a spot right now. Though I would say the damage from BIGETRON Alpha is definitely stacking up.
Moreno actually having the highest damage overall, showing Valentina can still be pretty scary, followed by Eman and Alita. Though there is actually a pretty big DPS difference between the Granger and the Irithel, so you can really see how that extra range and the revamp of this hero has breathed new life into him. I think I just saw a Malefic Roar being completed, not too sure by who. Over on BIGETRON side, I believe it was Luke. So the Masha getting even closer to a final mass of one-shotting PS or Alita.
Yep, that's the atomic proportion. They want Moreno. They commit 2 big ultimates, and Black, he's underneath the turret, get kicked back, isolated. It's a good attempt, but felt a bit forced from AI.
I agree with you, Husky. I don't feel like they needed to do that. Like, if they knew Moreno didn't have Blink,
Yeah, they still continue fighting. Alita just gets chased down. And just one small overextension now has snowballed out of control. BIGETRON Alpha have some time to start running down that mid lane. 10 more seconds for Black, but Mazzi and Alita are not there. They need this Irithel, but thank goodness they have artillery airstrike to get rid of the minion wave.
BIGETRON had their eyes on the prize right there. They realized that, okay, Alita is actually the problem. Fanny can't really jump into it safely. So a good combo here from Moreno stealing the AOG. It does feel like the Avatar the Guardian has been more effective from the Valentina than the Gatot himself. And TOZ will be able to secure the Lord for BIGETRON. AI actually in some trouble there. That was Alita's first death. Definitely going to mess with his momentum.
It's going to be Lord in the middle lane. If BIGETRON Alpha cracks that inhibitor, it's going to be a bit of a headache for AI. But again, Alita, I think as long as they keep him alive, even without Oh My Jenny, Alita can still kind of be that late game monster that they rely on. Which is getting to that point. Better airstrike use, Black forced to disengage. So they will lose that mid inhibitor for sure. Can't defend that, but PS clears out the bottom way, so that's a good start.
They will only lose the mid inhibitor from this, which actually isn't bad at all. BIGETRON didn't really commit the time, or couldn't, to get the sideways synced, but they're still gonna commit conceal to try and get the top inhib.
And Black wanted to walk up and stall it out, but it's just not possible. So 2 inhibitors taken by BIGETRON Alpha, finally in the driver's seat of this game. It's a, what, 7k goal advantage.
Oh, I am definitely starting to see the value of this matchup overall. It's not just about the one-shot on the Thunderclap, it's the fact that with the 3 HP bars, PS actually has to commit a lot of time to trying to kill him if he wants to. Even if he may be squishier, the 3 bars takes more time. And now they're gonna try and go for the final inhib. Should be able to get it.
And Luke, oh, almost takes out Alita, forces out the winds of nature. At least Luke goes down, but Black traces life. BIGETRON Alpha got what they were coming for though. All inhibitors taken down.
Luke literally just needs a little bit more itemization to officially be able to one-shot Alita. Alita just barely survived there. Actually had to use the Wind of Nature just in case Luke tried to follow up on it. And even if he did end up losing his life, BIGETRON got every single inhibitor. AI now only have a crystal to play around with. And they're still not quite in the state where they can directly fight BIGETRON. It's Fanny, even though it has been permabanned up until this point, seems to be something that BIGETRON had prepared for.
Yeah, they definitely came here well prepared to take on AI Esports. They won the game 3. Would be quite a major upset if AI Esports takes this 2-0. But again, still wouldn't put it past them. But hitting that ultra late game state of the game. You see Pamela. Yeah, that's a flicker for Jenny.
It's a pretty scary time to be right now for both sides, actually. We're still at a point where Alita can blow someone up very quickly, but we also know how much Granger scales the later the game goes. Eman is at full build at this point. Luke just completed, I think that might be a second VOD?
I think so? We'll have to check it in a bit. But even then, look at this. Pamela, that's the target.
Oh.
An important one is PS. Does have the immortality. He's able to somehow get away with the cables, but Black not so lucky. Pamela loses his immortality. Stolen AOG from Moreno. TOZ in the midst of things. Alita, as long as he stays alive, there is a chance for AI. So only losing Black so far, but Luke staying in that bush is just scary.
It is not bad an engagement at all from AI Esports. Oh, my Jenny's gone.
He is straight up gone. Emma now pops his Winds of Nature, but Alita shows up, blows up Moreno. Turtle, this Lord though, still goes to BTR. The PS cannot participate.
PS managed to survive the attempt, diving TOZ, but took too much damage in exchange and was no longer able to stay to actually try and contest the Lord. But with no inhibitors standing, it's going to be very difficult for AI to actually hold this back, especially with Oh My Jenny still 10 seconds away from respawning.
Let's see what the plan is going to be. I mean, AI Esports have to mount the defense of their lifetime to keep this siege from happening. And still you have to worry about Luke, right? Some of them don't even have immortalities anymore. Alita and Oh My Jenny, the most crucial members. PS trying to shave away the health bars of the squishes on the side of BIGETRON Alpha. Is doing a pretty good job. So this defense, very, very smooth from AI.
I guess we do have to remember that Fanny is legitimately a good hero for base defense. Being able to jump back and forth, healing up that energy, and going in again. Looking at the itemization, yep, full items on most of the cores. That is a second VOD on Luke. In fact, it looks like he's going for a third VOD on top of all of that. Wind of Nature on both of the marksmen. Winter Crown on Moreno, so he's not going to get one shot the same way as before, but not enough cash on players like Oh My Jenny to be able to do the same.
Definitely the Oh My Jenny is definitely the one that has suffered the most this game in terms of just overall, right? Like you get jumped on, you just disappear. That the flicker is not doing enough to save him. All that weight now on the shoulders of PS and Alita.
A lot of weight right now that they have to carry. We are 20 minutes into game number 2. At this point, net worth difference doesn't really matter all that much, though is most notable on Oh My Jenny. He's been getting punished pretty hard the entirety of this game and still hasn't been able to find that 5th item yet. So that's a little bit unfortunate. If Pamela had teammates around, that would have been a kick onto PS4, sure. But it actually can still be anyone's game. AI Esports can try to delay this a little bit. Their base defense is not bad with Fetid Airstrike and the Fanny around. BIGETRON wants to try and bait them out so they can take a fight on their own terms. But AI, let's see how well they can adapt.
Yeah, the wave clear from AI is just superb. We haven't, I mean, minions get stronger every passing second, but it hasn't reached the point where it's not manageable. You know, for AI. That's why they still feel a bit comfortable being in this state.
This is a very tense spot. Okay, Oh My Jenny finally got the Winter Crown. That should help a little bit here. Pamela gonna scout out that Alita's in the bottom side. Lord has spawned up top. Unfortunately, minion wave shoving every lane against AI. But Madzi will still be sent to scout things out. BIGETRON Alpha. This could be a chance for them to get rid of the Hilda if they really wanted to.
Yep, KPS arrived in time. It's just short. Just short. The attempt was there, but this could be the conclusion of the game. What a kick once more on Oh My Jenny. It's down to Alita. Trying to find any sort of kill. Gets boxed in by Moreno with the stolen AOG, and Luke on top of him just punches him to oblivion. It's a godlike for Eman, and BIGETRON Alpha forces game number 3 after what a slugfest of a game 2.
It's been a pretty sweepy day here at SPS, but we finally get a full series. And BIGETRON Alpha shows us that there is a correct reason for us predicting their victory after all.